The Lord Parish, Father Rob Arsenault. It's Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, and it's time for the Pastor's Chat. So, once again, I try to do this. I come on usually once a week, and we just chat about a few things and see what's going on in the parish. And people have a chance to ask questions or chime in if they want to. Just let me know that you're out there, that you're watching this. I know that people watch it later. We don't usually get that big a live audience, which is quite all right. I never really wanted to be a media star. That's never been my goal. But I did want to make myself available to my pastors and to my parishioners, I should say, and as a pastor, and to just give you a chance to kind of chime in and to say hello. So if you are wanting to ask a question or is there something that you're kind of curious about, just please do so. So what's going on? Well, it's we're close into the third week of Advent, so we're still in the second week. Tomorrow is the Immaculate Conception of Mary, so it's the 8th. A lot of dioceses have Mary as one of her patrons, and will they'll do like this a special mass. I remember in Kingston would do that. It was on the 8th of December, and it became sort of a pre-Christmas kind of gathering as well. So a lot of places have that. So tomorrow's a pretty big celebration. So we want to honor our Blessed Mother. From there, we move to Agate Sunday, which is a Rose Sunday, or it's sort of that kind of when you like the pink candle. So the pink candle is not about being pink, but there's the four weeks of Advent, and so we have 2 weeks, and then it's a hope. It's really what it's supposed to symbolize. So there's Andy. Andy, thank you for chiming in, and Elaine as well. Thank you very much. Yeah, I missed you. I'll get into that in a minute. I was in that mass this morning I was at a different mass this morning, but that's a different reason. So that's what's coming up. So Agate Sunday, Pink Sunday, where it's about hope. So it's almost like a little not like break, but encouragement. So the 4 weeks of Lent, we're 2 weeks, third in, one more week, and then we'll celebrate Christ coming into the world. So it's a way of marking that we are getting closer and closer. All good news. So that's what's coming up. And then, of course, we have not this Thursday coming, but so not this week, not next week, but the week after, we're doing a little parish mission. We're making it available online. The Companions of the Cross are having a 4 weeks. I think they're having different priests speaking and part of Advent. And one of them is Joshua. Father Joshua will be doing that. So he's already taped that, and that would be made available online. But we thought, well, since we have him and he's in the parish, we're going to try these things on Thursday nights. We want to have like a praise and worship, adoration, maybe a little teaching, a witness, confession, that kind of thing. So that's the week just before. I should have my dates in front of me, but it's the week just before Christmas. It's like the last week before we get there. So whatever that Thursday is, I was going to look over here. It should be the 20. I think it's like 22nd. I think is that Thursday. So that's going to be, we'll call it an encounter. Is sort of this nation of you come and just do a little praise and worship and possibly go to confession, do a little bit of adoration with the Blessed Sacrament, and that's the goal. So this is a bit of a test run. We'd like to make it almost like a monthly and possibly even in more kind of event, but we have to do one or two to kind of get it off the ground and make it happen. So that's the plan. It's the 22nd of December coming up in just a couple of weeks. We'll be doing that. So other than that, again, just getting ready for Christmas time. We're having a big staff meeting again on Friday just to make sure all our T's are crossed and the dots are on the I's. And there's a lot of moving parts to it. It's kind of an interesting year in a way because it's like, in some ways, COVID's still around, but it's not defining us in the way it has for the last almost 2.5 years. So we're free to come to Mass in numbers that we would want. There's no restrictions at all. The diocese has come out with a strong encouragement to wear masks in public and indoors, but not required. So it's kind of clear on that the idea of going back to sort of that more restrictive thing. We had quite a few regulations. People are encouraged to, but they have that option. It's very clear. It is your option to do that or not do that. So that's where it's going. So that will include Christmas, of course, and we don't know. Like it's funny. These last couple, it's been 4 years since we've had that Christmas Eve where you have a big influx of people. But something we've been thinking a lot about, and really it's going to be the main part of our meeting on Friday as a staff. This is going to be a chance for us as a parish to welcome people. Like there will be people there, and they may be coming, and we've not been here. Not been here because it's been a while. Not been here because they're new to the neighborhood, not here because they've been scared of COVID. There's a lot of reasons why someone may not be coming to Mass on any particular Sunday. But Christmas tends to be that time that draws people back. We've noticed with Advent, that's been kind of the case, that people have been away for, again, legitimately during COVID, have sort of made that decision. Okay, let's get this going again. Let's start this thing, and have chosen the beginning of Advent to do that, and that's good to see. Christmas is probably another opportunity. So us as a staff, obviously as the clergy, as the pastor, I want to really greet people and be warm and welcoming and hello, good to have you. And we do that in a lot of ways, in the music that we choose, the type of homily where it's geared to the physical, we'll decorate the church as we normally do, to have volunteers there that are ready to talk to people and maybe give advice, like how do you register in the parish if you're new to the parish, or get information about catechetics, or people wanted services from us they haven't really been a chance to ask. So this is the whole idea, but that's not just me, like it's all of us, right? So if anybody coming to Christmas Mass should in the back of the mind be thinking, okay, if you're regular parishioners, you've got the front end scoop. I'm going to talk a bit about this weekend, to welcome people, to say hi, to park a little further away so that the easier parking spots are closer. Like again, there's small things that don't in themselves make a critical difference, but all together make a good experience. Someone comes to church, haven't been here in possibly years, or maybe never at all. Like we don't really know who's coming through the door. This is a chance for us to make a good and strong impression that maybe people would want to be here more often, would like to be part of what we do, would want to find out more about what we're about. And that's a collective kind of effort. It's not just any one priest or someone on staff, or the greeting committee or the ushers. I mean, those are all have their roles to play. But critically, the entire parish needs to have that kind of that mindset. It's something that we've been talking about in the other job I do now with the diocese. This sort of getting the whole mindset of the parish, the diocese, the Catholic Church, like universally, has always, at least in the last few hundred years, maybe 1,000 years, kind of run on its own strength. It was big enough and had enough members and enough numbers that it didn't have to work that hard. And now we find ourselves in a post-Christendom kind of reality where we're going to have to evangelize. We're going to have to hustle a little bit more. We're going to have to be more accommodating and reaching out and be clear in our messaging and who we are and how we do things. And Christmas is, again, it's not going to make or break the parish or the diocese, for that matter, anywhere close to that. But it's a step. Like it's a conscious decision to make it about people who aren't there as much as we can. And again, very simple ways, like a little bit of a greeting, a little bit of hello, a little bit of generosity, a little bit of warmth, just missed you, like nice to see you again, the warmth of a handshake and a smile and a courtesy. And I think we're going to do something I'm kind of excited about. They're going to try to put on a children's liturgy, I think, for the first two Masses, which will have something for the young people and get a little rangy. It's just coming on the night before Christmas and all that. So again, little things, but all those little things together can make something quite powerful. I know that the two images come to mind, like, threads that go together to make a rope, which can be quite strong. Or the old Legion. If you notice, sometimes, I think even the Knights of Columbus are meeting tonight, and they have part of their one of their symbols is an axe, but the axe has a kind of a cluster of sticks around its handle. And the symbolism, I think, is taken from the Roman legions. And it was like a single stick is quite brittle and you can break it. It's not very hard to do, like just a twig. But you put a bundle of twigs together and you bind them tightly, it becomes something much stronger. That individually we could be a bit brittle, but together we make something much more strong. So this is the whole notion of a parish that's intentional about mission. That it's not any one particular person or one particular program. It's not just the alpha people. It's just not extroverts. It's not, it's really a collective that all of us together make a conscious choice that one night, when we only have really maybe possibly one chance to make an impression with some people, that we're conscious of making a good one as best we can. It doesn't mean we make it perfect. It doesn't mean we sort of market ourselves, but I do think we can be more conscious of how we do it. Again, sometimes it's as simple as a friendliness, a parking spot, place to sit, a homily that's geared to maybe a first-time hearer or somebody who's been away for a while. So that's something to pray about. I mean, even that in itself is part of the gesture. Is we're doing this with the hampers this year. You know, we're giving away some food, and as we've done in the past, and we've asked people to take pledges for gift cards, because those are much easier to kind of navigate. But one of them is prayer cards. So either to do a hamper with yourself, or I think that might be all gone, actually, to be honest with you. I haven't checked in a while. But there's hampers that you and maybe another family can to take on, or do gift cards that go in the hampers, or prayer cover, like to pray for the people who will receive the hampers, that this would be more than simply a gesture of generosity or kindness, but could be actually a life-changing conversion kind of experience. Like, who are these people? Why do they do this? And what's their motivation? And how could I learn more about this? That's always the hope, right? It's that something transcendent would be communicated in the gestures of what we do. So there it is. So my good people, again, as we move into a season of hope, I'm thinking of, our world has some problems in it right now. World Cup aside, like global warming and climate change and political unrest, and this is all part of my homily this weekend. We have a land war in Europe. We've got it's tough. You watch the news. There's lots going on. What did we expect? Life's always been hard, and our world is hard. But we hold on to that hope and that truth that Christ is coming. He is who he says he is. He does the things he says he can do. And that is our hope. Political structure, economic systems, technology, science, all good stuff. It's done amazing things for us. But it's not God. And it can't give eternity. It cannot forgive sins. That's the thing. I want to finish on this. So something that Father Simon Lobo, as you may know, he's one of our priests. He's in St. Benedict's in Halifax. And he said something in a homily. I don't know if you're quoting someone. I only saw the clip. But he said, our world says you can do anything you want. But there's certain things that are just unforgivable. And we're sort of seeing this now. And it's a bit of a nasty cancel culture. That people who are, this world, it seems to just say, well, anything you want, any way you want it, not a problem. Unless. And that unless can take various forms, and then people are really kind of attacked, and there's very little compassion for them. Now God says there's just a few things. There's certain things I don't want you to do. I want you to live your life in a particular way, and everything can be forgiven. And there's a difference in that. Like, one would seem so much better, but in the end it turns out to be rather harsh, and one may seem a bit harsh at first, but I think it gives so much more. Something to ponder. So, God of second chances, a God of forgiveness, a God of mercy and love, we just ask that you would move through the hearts of the people that might hear this, who might be, alone at Christmas for whatever reason. They could be separated from family or friends. We don't know everybody's story. But we just pray that they would feel the love of Christ in their lives and be able to experience him in a new and fuller way. Mother Mary, and we get ready to honor you on the Immaculate Conception, and where you were pre-prepared to receive Jesus, then we just pray that again, you teach us about your Son and be a powerful influence in our world. Once again, I would ask that the angels and saints intercede for you, and God bless you and keep you. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. God bless you now, and good night.